So this is a fun little deal. Got the printers running. That is what you call progress. That's like a full part 2 unit of what we're doing for the GoPro mount. Super excited to put that together, test it out. Sad thing is, China, yes, that's where I get my molds done, is gonna be on vacation. They do Chinese New Year, and it lasts forever. And so I'm gonna have a little pause in the progress while they relax and get their stuff done. One thing I guess I should tell you. So the reason why I do molds in China, I'm a guy that taught myself how to model, do 3D stuff. I haven't quite learned, and I've actually been a little bit lazy because of this, how to put draft into models. Okay, so you got a mold, and in order to get that mold to eject a part, there has to be a draft. And if you don't get what I'm saying, maybe that's a visual, is if something's the same perfect wall and you're trying to slide that part out of something with the perfect wall, it's painful. So there's a draft. If you're going to pull something out, there's a small angle, so as it pulls out, it's basically free, versus like a tight fit all the way out, because that injector needs to create a part, pop it out, create a part, pop it out with some pins. If you look at stuff you've bought, there will be little marks on it, that are little round spots where the pins actually pop them out, so that the machine is automated and it can just make your parts. And so not knowing how to do some of those things, having people to modify or approve or work my files would cost me quite a bit. So I have found sources in China. They're totally good to me. They'll take a file without draft in it with my basic needs. At the place I'm working with right now, they'll source screws, nuts, the stuff that I would need for it, and find it for me. Because I test here with some parts, and I can probably continually order those screws and those nuts. But they'll source them, they'll test them, they make sure things fit and work before they are sent to me, and then I test them and see if they work. But it's super handy and it's cost effective. As long as you can work with the manufacturer like that, and you can have very small minimum quantity orders, it's totally in your alley to like make stuff. I would recommend definitely fewer than 1,000. The place I work with right now let me do 250, 500. I generally do 500 of things because it's more cost effective for me to one-time ship it and to pay for all that stuff to at least get enough that I can work with. I'm starting to outgrow my garage. It's a thing. And so those are some things to look at as far as a partner that you're going to want to work with to do molds. And the cost is totally cost effective for me, for the extra help and the willingness to help make things come together for a one-man show. It's totally appreciated. I mean, I wish that was an option here in the States, but obviously time is money, and the people that I'd be having do it would charge me for each layer of that, for the time to probably consult about it, to talk about the draft or modify it for the draft, and do all those things. And they're not going to help me source parts, to get me 1,000 screws, 2,000 screws, and just throw it right in. So super handy. I totally recommend it. I'm not anti it because, again, as a small guy, you have to do what you can. I'd like to say everything was made in America. Everything I send is made in America because I assemble it all. Because that's one big thing, is when you're making parts, the assembly of it is a huge thing. For me to do that would mean traveling over there, training people on assembly and everything that goes on. Pardon me while the jet flies over. And so I'm definitely not to that level. This is all just a side hustle, right? It's getting to where if I lost my job, I could probably support myself on this stuff. That's always comforting. Biden hasn't ruined all of the economy yet. People are still spending money. That's good. But as far as where I was going, it's the way I'm doing business right now. At some point, if I had more money, more resources, and the ability to do so, I would either like to produce more of the parts myself, have the equipment to do so, or find people and suppliers, manufacturers here in the States, just to save the time, the effort, the headaches of quality you run into, because there's a translation mix match between here and China. And great people, they've been good to me. I've got great sources right now to where I can trust what I'm getting, that what I get works. So that's one reason why I'm sort of stoked about having the mold 1 in a functional state, because I can definitely make that mold work. But when they're back from Chinese New Year, I'm going to try and get them to modify it to make it a little bit better and smoother, so with the rotation, because I found some things. And I'll also get mold 2 started. So this is mostly kind of an update for you GoPro folks that want to know where the wake mount is. Mold 2 is going to be the upper lower on the mount. I'll probably redo the lead weight mold, and I've got sources for the fiberglass. I need to source the threaded rod that I'm going to use for the bottom weights. So if anybody's super familiar with what I'm doing, once those things are checked in, technically I could probably 3D print some of the pieces I need, like the shield, the actual GoPro mounting equipment, because I'm going to, it's a long story, I'll cover this in another video. I could probably, once mold 2's in and mold 1's in, and I have, a couple hundred pieces, I think I'm going to start shipping to those pre-orders and be able to offer it as available and start getting some out. And so this year I think we're going to see a lot more footage. The footage hopefully gets more people to buy more products and come and buy more mounts, or anything I can do there, support the hobbies. So again, that'll be one thing I'll give away on the channel too, some mounts. So let's hit some marks, see if you can share with some people. Again, I'm sharing to try and get people to understand how they can do this on their own if they've ever wanted to. Drop any questions you have in the channel. Hi, Braxton. Hi. And I'm happy to answer. I'm happy to help you, brainstorm and think things through, or do 3D printing for people to help get things moved along, so you can kind of do some of the fun things that you've been dreaming about, thinking about. Maybe it's here, maybe it's not, but I'm here. I got time. Hit me up. Peace. Big thanks from Zen Times 10 for watching. If you like that video, make sure you subscribe. We have future promos and contests coming up. Click that like button and drop us a comment on the way out.